All right, so Zillow has absolutely changed the world when buying and selling houses. In this video, I'm gonna show you exactly how you can figure out how much is your house worth today on Zillow. All right, so first I'm gonna show you how the Zestimate is actually pure garbage and means nothing to you as a home buyer or seller. And then I'm gonna show you how to figure out exactly what your home is worth today on Zillow so that you have no questions if the Zestimate's correct or not. So the first place we wanna go to is Zillow.com, Zillow.com, and then we wanna put our address exactly in Zillow. So for instance, let's just say your address is 1216 Yosemite Drive in Colorado Springs, Colorado. I actually did a similar video like this on Redfin. And if you want to check that out after this one, it's called What is the Value of My Home on Redfin? But I'm going to show you the same exact example, but we're going to do it with Zillow. All right, so here we are, Zillow.com. I'm going to put in my address of 1216 Yosemite Drive. And then it finds it for me. So that's a good sign. You don't want to really actually type the whole thing. You want to let Zillow find it for you. All right, so we click on it. Now we're going to see that this property is off market, and this is how we learn about our house. Our home is currently, and this is a hypothetical, obviously, 3-bedroom, 1.5 baths, we call it 2, and it's only 1,000 square foot. It's very, very small. But it's funny that Zillow says it's 1,000 square foot because Redfin says it's 1,900 square foot if you pull it up on Redfin. But this is a video about Zillow, so we're gonna stay on Zillow here. All right, so we see that this property is off market and it's got like a 1-car garage and it doesn't appear to be fixed up or anything. So we need to remember that. We wanna see comparable properties to ours. So, yeah, not too bad though. All right, so we gotta remember that when we're looking at comparables, we wanna compare apples to apples. So we wanna keep it a couple miles within where we live. You know, very similar, 3-bedroom, 1.5 baths, around 1,000 square foot. Now I feel like this house may be a little bit bigger than that because I know there's a basement and it's probably also about 900 square foot too. So this house is really about 1,900 square foot. So Zillow's actually wrong there. And one way you can verify this is you can actually go to the assessor's website. So I'm gonna Google that just so you see how to find this. And you can Google your county's assessor. This county is El Paso County, Colorado. Actually, property appraiser right there, and it pulls it up automatically for me. I'm looking for the Spaceless website. And I'm gonna go ahead and just verify really quickly how big this property is. Now this is a little bit of extra work, but you probably already know what the size of your house is, but this one's kind of picked out of a random. So I just wanna make sure that we have the exact square foot. So quick way to go is building details. And it looks like the first floor level is 1,094 and the finished basement is 885. So if you take 1,094 plus 885, you got about 1,979. So okay, 1,979. So 1,979 square foot. All right, so here we go. We're looking at Yosemite Drive right here. Not a very big road. And I can scroll out just a little bit. These darn pop-ups, man. And then I wanna see the solds. So I'm gonna go and I'm gonna change the bedrooms to at least 3-bedroom, 1.5 plus, and that's gonna be done. And then I don't wanna look at lots and land. I'm gonna select all and then deselect all, and I'm only gonna choose houses. And then I'm gonna hit done. And then I'm gonna go to more, and I wanna see what has sold in the last several months on Zillow. So if you scroll down, okay, last 90 days, that's 3 months. Let's go to 6 months. Let's see what's sold in the last 6 months on Zillow. Okay, I know why we're not seeing anything is because I need to take out this address. Go up a little bit, scroll out. Just remember, we want to be close to this Yosemite. It looks like one house has sold in the last few months in this area on Zillow. So let me just make sure that nothing is checked. Price, I don't want to see any price. I don't want to skew that. Let's just do any, just to see if we can get some more to come up. Done. All right, that doesn't open much. We got this one down here for 400. And then houses are checked, and then more. 6 months on Zillow. Oh, here's the thing. I'm glad I used this specific example because I had 1/4 to 1/2 acre properties. These are very small lots in this area, so we want to just do any. Oh yeah, look at that. That opened it up quite a bit. All right, so now I'm gonna go back to 3-bedroom, 1.5 baths. And I also wanna see what's happened in the last 90 days because that's overwhelming. That's a lot of solds in the last 3 months. So that tells me right there, this is a really hot market. It's a hot zip code. So I'm gonna go, let's just say we see what's happened in the last 30 days. 30 days, that's plenty of comps. Let's look at what's happened in the last 2 weeks. For this purpose, I'm just gonna look at the last 2 weeks. This one for 409, 360, 435, 369. All right, so this 369 might be an outlier, and so might this 435 and this 462. But let's look at it. All right, Yosemite, that's right on Yosemite Drive. We are looking at 1216 Yosemite Drive. So let's look at this one. All right, this house appears to be completely fixed up. Everything looks really nice. I mean, look at those bathrooms, man. Women are gonna love those bathrooms. Basement is completely redone. Let's see what the kitchen looks like. Let's go back up and look at the kitchen. All right, yeah, looks like granite countertops on this kitchen. Definitely not quite a comparable, but you can see what your house would sell for all fixed up. So let's go back and let's just take this one down. Again, 2,100 square foot. This one has one more bedroom. So more than one bedroom off, I probably would not use this as a comparable to my house, but 3-bedroom, 2-bath, 2,100 square foot. That's pretty close to 1,900 and something square foot. So we'll use it as a comparable. So I'm gonna show you very easy math, how we can figure out exactly what your house is worth on Zillow. We're gonna take the 435 that was sold just 2 weeks ago. So that's a very good indication of what your house would sell for if you listed it right now. So let's take 435 and divide it by 2188. So 435, that's the sales price, divided by the square foot, which is 2188, equals $198 a square foot. I'm gonna write that down on my notepad here so I don't forget it. And then I'm gonna go to the next one and we're gonna look and see what that's worth. All right, so we got that one for 435. Let's look over here at the 360. Let's see if that one was any fixed up at all. No, not fixed up. All right, so if your house, the 1216 one, which it didn't appear to be fixed up, this is actually going to be a better comp because this is more similar to this house, but we're kind of looking at apples and oranges. We're gonna compare apples to oranges right now. So if you notice, like the kitchen's not nice, and never put a washer and dryer in your kitchen. I don't care, you need to close that off because that dust that's coming right out of that vent line right here is going in your food over here while you're cooking it on the stove and your kids are gonna eat that. We don't want that in houses. That is like one way. And then in this black curtain here, get it out. You know, get those chairs out of there. What is this line going across the floor? If you want to increase your home's value, little things like that are just pet peeves to buyers. But let's use this as a comp. All right, we got, well, it's a little smaller than ours as well. You know, let's see. Is there a basement in this house? Doesn't appear to be a basement, but for time purposes, I'm gonna keep this really fast. Sold for $360 a couple weeks ago. Divide that by 1,239 square foot. So let's just do the math here. 360,000 divided by 1,239 square foot equals $290 a square foot. That's actually higher than the fixed up one, but it's a smaller house, a way smaller house. So let me just make sure my math was correct. 360,000 divided by 1,239 equals $290 a square foot. All right, so let's just go over here. 290 a square foot, not fixed up. All right, let's look at some more. Let's get some more data. I like to look at least 5 of these and kind of just compare what's fixed up, what's not fixed up. You might say, Brent, this is a little time consuming. Well, it's actually way more accurate than just looking at what the Zestimate is gonna show. Let's just go and see what the Zestimate is. Every time I click on something on Zillow, I get a pop-up for some reason. 1216 Yosemite Drive. And another example, I don't use Zillow with Safari. For some reason, it works way better with Google Chrome in my eyes. All right, 1216, and then what are they saying the Zestimate? Okay, they're saying the Zestimate is worth $338,000. Let's see how close they are. All right, let's go to the next one, 409. This one looks pretty fixed up. Oh yeah, look at that professional staging. Look at that kitchen. Let's see what their bathrooms look like. Oh yeah, the bathrooms are great, but here's one thing. They probably could have gotten a lot more for this house if they would have replaced this ceiling with drywall and maybe put some carpet on those floors. They would have gotten way more for this house because that basement during the wintertime, that floor is probably ice cold and that does not look comfortable. And they probably should have finished all this. Yeah. All right. So let's go back. Let's see exactly what this house sold for. All right, sold for $409, and you want to divide that by 2,300 square foot. So 409,000 divided by 2,396 square foot equals 170 a square foot, and that's fixed up. But if you notice here, these bigger houses go for a little bit less by the square foot because they're larger houses. If you have a smaller house like that one for 1,000 square foot, you can actually get away with a higher price per square foot. So if you're using this to flip homes or make money or make profit, buy the smaller property. All right, before I keep going with showing you what your house is worth today on Zillow, go ahead and smash that subscribe button for me while you're watching this. Hopefully this video is bringing you so much value. All right, let's keep going. All right, so we got $170 a square foot. Let's mark that down. A square foot fixed up. I'm gonna put that up here with the fixed up stuff, but larger house. Let's go back to our Zillow example and let's look at one more. Let's look at this one for 300, and I think we already looked at this one. Yep, we looked at this one for 360. Let's look at the one for 369 because I have a feeling that one might not be fixed up. Can't really tell from the pictures here. Actually, it looks pretty decent. It might be a decent upgraded house, no telling. But let's just use it for an example just to kind of get the average of what's going on. So we got $368,750 divided by 1716 square foot equals $214 a square foot. That's a pretty good amount of money they got for that property. So let's go ahead over here, that down, $214 a square foot, which is almost second place. And I don't know if that was fixed up. But what we're gonna do is I'm gonna take all four of these examples. I'm gonna take all four of these numbers, 198 a square, 170 a square, $214 a square, and $290 a square. And then I'm gonna equal them out, see exactly what they add up to, and then I'm gonna divide them by 4. And that's gonna give me the average price per square foot of everything in that area. And this is gonna include fixed up and not fixed up. So you just wanna know what it would cost you to fix these things up. If you're really trying to drive up value in your house, first is the kitchen, second is the bathrooms. And I said both, kitchen and bathrooms. Now, if you really wanna drive it home, kitchen, bathrooms, all new paint, all new carpet, all new flooring, have a brand new house and just demand the highest price per square foot. But we're just gonna use a very average example here for this particular situation. All right, so let me add these up really quick. So 198 plus 170 plus 214, I'm not gonna worry about the 88 cents, plus 290 equals $872 divided by 4, because we use 4 different comps, equals $218 is the average price per square foot. And let's go back. Remember, we were saying that that property has 1,094 plus 885. What is that number again? Plus 885 equals 1979. And then I'm gonna multiply that 1979 by $218, which is the average. 218 equals $431,422 is what that house is worth. All right, so 431,422, just to check my number. So that property on 1216 Yosemite Drive is worth $432,000, and that's a moderately fixed up. You got to understand that this talking super nasty, disgusting house, we're probably not going to get as much for it. But if it says a Zestimate is $338, and you can get $431,000, I say that Zestimate is completely off. And I'm not here to prove Zillow wrong. I'm just showing you how to figure out exactly what your house is worth today on Zillow. If you enjoyed this video, if you got value out of it, also check out my video I just did, what is my house worth today on Redfin.